Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my preview and analysis of the 2018-2019 NFC Divisional Round matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and New Orleans Saints. Now, who would have thought that the Eagles would have been in this position right now? They finished the season on a rampage. They won their last 3 games, including impressive wins over the Rams and the Texans, and they upset Chicago Bears team, whose defense was relentless during the regular season. Performed well in that wild card game, but just couldn't quite muster enough offense. So the Eagles prevailed. And right now, I mean, you look at this now. The Saints had they actually throttled the Eagles earlier this season, 48-7, downright annihilated them. I expect this to be a much closer matchup in this one. I think the Eagles are going to make their adjustments. They're going to redeem themselves. They were demoralized in that first game. I expect the Eagles, with Nick Foles now, he seems to be working some kind of magic with this team or something. Defense seems to rally around him. The Eagles will make this much more competitive, but I still think the Saints are going to win. The Saints are going to be at home. Saints are 6-2 at home this season. Eagles just 4-4 on the road in the regular season, 5-4 counting the postseason. Saints finished 13-3 in the regular season. Saints 13-3 in the regular season. Eagles 9-7, 10-7 counting the wild card win. Saints have won 3 of their last 4. Eagles have won 4 consecutive games going back to the regular season. You look at this right now, I think there's just going to be so much offense on the Saints side. I just don't think the Eagles are going to be able to quite score enough points to keep up with the Saints. I mean, the Saints were one of the best scoring offenses in the NFL during the regular season. They averaged nearly 32 points per game. You've got Drew Brees, running back Alvin Kamara, and wide receiver Michael Thomas. Wide receiver Michael Thomas was only targeted, I think, 4 times in the previous meeting with the Eagles in the regular season. Still had over 90 receiving yards. So even if they contain Michael Thomas, what are they going to do? Hold him to 90 or 100 yards receiving? There is just way too much offense on the Saints team for the Eagles to contend with. Now, the Eagles' defense has been much better in recent time. They've only given up 15 total points in the last 2 games, averaging 7.5 points allowed over that period. You look at the Eagles, though, I think another problem for them is going to be able to withstand very strong, tenacious New Orleans run defense, which ranked number 2 in the NFL in the regular season. The Eagles were number 28 in rushing yards per game. They're just going to have a little trouble with the running game. The Saints have dominated the Eagles in recent time. They have won 4 of the last 5 against the Eagles. But when you look at this team too, I think New Orleans is going to be able to just give Drew Brees a little bit more protection than the Eagles are going to give Nick Foles. Drew Brees was only sacked 20 times during the regular season. The Saints were only sacked 20 times. They have 49 defensive sacks. They had a better defensive unit as far as sacks go than the Eagles as well. And you look at this team right now, and the offense is better for the Saints, of course, than the Eagles. The Saints, again, as I stated before, they average nearly 32 points per game during the regular season. The Eagles average 22.5. I just don't think the Eagles are, as I stated before, Eagles can't match up on the offensive end. They're going to have a hard time containing wide receiver Michael Thomas, and I think that run defense is just too strong. As far as the Saints go, for the Eagles to really penetrate, it's going to be very difficult as far as those things go in this particular matchup. But the thing about it is the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. I think they might get the Saints. Well, they can handle this. Will be much more competitive, without a doubt, than that first game. And I think the team is going to, and you have tight end Zach Ertz which for the Eagles, which is going to be very hard, I think, for the Saints to cover. So it's not like the Eagles don't have any hope in this game. And Nick Foles has led his team to 4 consecutive wins. Kudos for the Eagles for coming back and being resilient. They could have given up very easily this season. They just barely got in the playoffs, but they got in and played the Bears very well and emerging victorious. But I think this magic comes to an end this coming week. I think I do like the Saints to win this one in a close game. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for my preview and analysis of the 2018-2019 NFC Divisional Round matchup between the Eagles and Saints. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.